Yesterday, Artemis 2 went back to the
Yes.
moon.
Yes.
I mean, the astronaut. Okay. So it's vaguely linked to this, what we're about to do now.
Yeah.
Uh, when some when somebody tells you something that's hard to believe, it's difficult to take them seriously.
Hmm.
But what if that someone is a person that is trusted, a solid personality,
Yeah.
someone with a track record of telling you like it is? Would that change or sway your opinion of what they told you? It's exactly that which we find ourselves today after a recent interview with ex-US Congressman Matt Gaetz.
Hmm.
He's not a crazy person.
No.
As almost always, when congressmen or political figures are interviewed, there seems to be a segment reserved for the UFO question.
Hmm.
This time was no different. Uh, this was done on the 31st of March, by the way,
Yeah.
this interview, or it's published on the 31st of March.
Yes. Yeah.
Benny Johnson, a political commentator holding the interview with Gates, asked him what was the most disturbing alien information he had ever received as a sitting congressman. Gates, who now works for OAN, is a news anchor on
Yeah. Yeah.
OAN
Yeah.
now, says he was briefed with intelligence of locations where secret hybrid alien breeding programs were being carried out. He said, I had someone come and brief me who was in a military uniform, worked for the US Army, that was briefing me on locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that would engage in intergalactic communications.
Yeah.
He reaffirmed an actual uniformed member of the US Army briefed me on that.
Hmm.
Now, a little time after this aired, on the 31st, Australian Senator Ralph Babbitt, an active serving member of the Australian Parliament, agreed with Gates.
Hmm.
He agreed with his claim. He wrote on X, I wish I could say more, but unfortunately, everything I know about the alien hybrid program is classified. Let's just say some of you would be very surprised who's not entirely human. That's all I'm authorized to disclose at this time.
Okay.
Previously, Benny Johnson asked NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman if aliens exist, and he replied, there's a chance. Even more, Johnson said that Isaacman declared he is 90% sure the US will find some kind of life on Mars. He said, I would say there is a chance there could be life out there everywhere, he said. There are 2 trillion galaxies out there, and how many stars? And how many have planets in the Goldilocks zone?
Yeah. Okay. The Drake's equation. The old Drake's equation. Yeah.
So coming
Yeah.
back to these hybrid alien breeding programs,
Hmm.
could it be that David Icke, remember David Icke,
Yeah. Yeah.
had the beginnings of a point back in the day when he was about lizard people?
Hmm.
He was talking
Yeah.
about lizard.
Yeah.
May not have been the royal family like he allured to, but could it be he just got hold of a snippet of information back then, and his artistic license got the better of him?
Hmm. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, with Gates and Aussie Senator Babbitt coming out with what they did, it can only make the rest of the world wonder. Now,
Right.
to be
Yeah.
fair on Gates, he said that this guy spoke to him in his office in Florida,
Yeah.
and he said that to him and his staff were there as well,
Yeah.
and they were they said that it may not be uh, reliable, the information that he gave,
Hmm.
but that was based on not on the person who told him,
Yeah.
but on the fact that to them the thing was so fantastic this guy said there are between 8 and 12 of these bases around the US that are doing this, and he said he wanted all the senators
Mm,
it to be divided and to go to all these bases at the same time, so they can't. Because if you declared that you go into one base, they can move everything out and put it into another.
yeah, yeah,
A little bit like drafts or chess or something like that. Well, if everybody goes down to all the bases at the same time, and Gates said that he never got around to doing that, it was difficult to get
yeah.
the
Of
senators
course it
all
would.
at
Yeah,
the same time, go to
yeah,
Congress.
yeah. Well, okay. On the face of it, I'm going to be honest. I'm skeptical,
Yeah,
extremely
of course.
skeptical. I mean, of course, 70, 80% skeptical, if not more. And I'm being
Yeah.
generous there. Um, I mean, I'm not going to dismiss the possibility that there's life out there. As I said, I've just said, I mean, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but the Drake's equation, why I could remember it. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a complicated equation, but as you said, so many galaxies, so many, yeah, solar systems within the galaxies. The chances are, I mean, we find exoplanet, what we call exo Earth-like planets everywhere. Yeah. If, um, if, if yeah, the rules of evolution follow the way they followed on Earth. It could be a different set of rules somewhere else. Yeah, um, it's unlikely you're going to find a different set. I mean, physics, chemistry, and everything else are linked together. But yeah, you could find some slightly different shifts and everything else, and we could be part of a bigger survival of the fittest natural program as well. Yeah, there's that side to it. Or um, I mean, yeah, when we're looking up at a star and the light from it is 2 million years old,
That's right.
effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
how can you
it may
travel?
not even be there. It may not even be there anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's taken us 10 days now to get to the moon. Yeah, still. Yeah. Um, going
To be fair, and back.
and back. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, and back. I mean, that's what a quarter to half a million miles away. Yeah. Which is nothing really. You know, it's a bit farther than I want to go and get my chips, but let's be honest about it. Yeah. Um, I'm I'm very, very I mean it's always interesting. I mean, yes, I mean, this is the problem. Somebody spoke to me or somebody spoke to someone else who spoke to me. Um,
Well, it's very difficult for you to go into a lab and stumble across,
mm,
somebody's got to inform you about it,
yeah,
and somebody's got to take you there to
yeah,
show it you. And if it's that top secret, that's never going to happen.
no,
One interesting thing is what Gates said as well in this
mm,
interview. He said that he was on a committee,
yeah,
a UFO committee,
yes,
and they
well,
had a they had a the other day, the other month or so, they
mm,
had a big meeting about it.
yeah,
And he said that one guy from the Air Force, I think it was, he said
yeah,
that his job was to go with the CIA and collect the debris off of downed U. And he said that he said that even included biological parts of aliens.
oh yeah, yeah, but yeah,
So, I mean,
organic, organic
yeah,
matter. So yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So you can't,
I mean,
unless the guy was committed straight afterwards, you know.
um, I mean, I'm not going to be libelous there. I mean, there could be other things. It could be lack of funding. Funding, yeah, we need more funding, do more research. There could be that going on.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, okay, Gates, he he's gone there. He's told a story that happened. I don't doubt it happened to him because he seems quite a truthful guy. I mean, they've tried to make allegations against him about some things that not proven as far as I understand it. I'm not going to go into them here, given there's other things coming out. Um, not about him, about other people. I'm yeah, okay. He's been told something. He'd probably like to investigate. Um, it's all speculation. I mean, I think this administration is the first time they've even been quite open about past findings, um, which effectively started. I mean, people have always looked up the skies and seen things, Yeah, I don't know we're talking about landing here. Um, an object just won't come to Earth and just suddenly appear on the ground. Something crashes, something goes wrong. Um, yeah,
I don't. Rendlesham Forest
yeah,
was a very
mm,
famous
yeah,
uh, story
yeah,
where the UFO was on the ground, and when the army got close, they took off.
yeah. I mean,
Operation Plate here in Brazil.
yeah,
Here in Brazil, the aircraft, they said the
mm,
aircraft was in the river,
mm.
and it left the river and flew off out of the river.
I mean, okay. Sometimes I say it could be advanced military tech. Um,
Could be, could
yeah.
be.
Um,
Not in Brazil.
unless the Americans are up
They're,
to no good.
they're still flying the biplanes.
Um, yeah, yeah, the Brazilian Air Force isn't too bad, but yeah, yeah, I don't think they're up to that. Ever be up to that at the moment. I mean, and we're still buying second-hand tubs from the British Navy and the and the American Navy. Um, mind you, why do you need state-of-the-art ships for a Brazilian Navy? You know what it does or doesn't do. It's not hardly going to go anywhere. Not that the serving men there, and I've met a lot of serving seamen and military people in Brazil, and I'd say they're excellent people. They're not bad people. Yeah, everyone we spoke about the US. Most military people in the Brazil look at what the tech and everything the US have, the toys, and even the British look at them and think, get quite jealous sometimes. Yeah, um, yeah, yeah. It is. I don't like I said. I don't disbelieve something else exists somewhere. Um, I'd always say this. Okay, everything's had 13.5 billion years to develop. Um, if you think the luck that we've had, um, it's it's possible um, that there are more of us, inverted commas, out there.
Yeah.
And when I say us, I mean having the technology to travel. Yeah, it it might be that some have got the ability to travel um, millions of light years on arc ships or something else, because we have to believe that that organic material gets born and then dies at some point. Nothing will last forever. Not organic, you know. Um, I so I'm going to go with a few. If there is anything else out there, there could be around about us, our level with technology. Okay. Um, I don't know. I'm just speculating here. Yeah, that would be the assumption. In 13.5 billion years, if you look at the development and everything, I know there's dead stars there, stars that have gone before our star came into being, and maybe there have been civilizations um, that have gone before that
Yeah.
have done one of two things.
Still there, or are still there. So
Could be still there, but again, the distance.
you can't limit yourself to what. I mean, we can only just about make it to the moon.
Well, that's the point I'm making. We okay, we've got space vehicles as far as Mars. We've got one that's leaving our solar system. Yeah.
It's a
Or
sonder,
two.
little sonder.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, it and okay. I mean, that's what I say. I mean, you'd have to have somebody with the tech, individual with the technology. Um, nothing would last. The laws of physics are the laws of physics. Yeah.
On the
And
Earth for us. Yes. The rate of gravity on the moon is different than what it is.
yeah. But
So
that's to do with
so
mass of an object, mass of an
that's
object.
right. What I'm trying to
But
get at,
yeah, yeah,
what I'm trying to get at is that the rules on Mars are different than what they are on the
yeah. But
Earth.
it's still governed
You can start from there. You
by
can start from
the
there.
9.881 meters per second at Greenwich. Yeah,
That's
is
right.
um and yeah, it's different. Well, it's different all around Earth, depending on the way where you are on the Earth and the crust, where the bulge is, etc.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm and the point I'm making, but let you the universe will be the same physics. Now, I'm talking about laws of physics and maths and everything else. So the
Yep, yep.
mathematical modeling. Okay. I can't see that you could go to another universe and the laws of physics suddenly change for some obscure reason because we wouldn't be
Why
able
not?
to detect, because the physics is also reading lights, reading everything else. Um, yeah, the spectrum and everything else. I think the laws of physics apply across the universe. There's a mathematical model. If it doesn't, it's screwed up. I don't think you can go anywhere
Yeah.
else in the universe, and it's
If
different.
it doesn't, it could be all screwed up. Yeah, it could be.
I don't. Well, I can't see that because if you think the universe developed from a big explosion, is the Big Bang theory is accepted normal at the moment. That would all mean that laws of physics. Yeah, I don't think you could go to another place in the universe and the laws of physics have changed. The size of the planet suddenly
Mark,
changes.
Mark.
Yeah,
Here in Brazil, we drive on the right-hand side of the road.
yeah, but that's a
In
man-made
the
thing.
UK, wait, listen.
Yeah,
In the UK, we drive on the left-hand side of the road,
yeah,
but we all drive.
yeah, but that's a man-made rule. That's
Well, what I'm trying to get at, it's a rule.
yeah.
It's a rule, right? And so the laws of physics can be different where we don't know. They can, but they're all, even though the planets are still rotating around the sun, but
Not
it
the
doesn't
same.
it doesn't necessarily mean to say that they're going to be exactly the same as what they are here.
No, no, yes, but you go somewhere else. The laws of attraction, of gravity, and everything else are going to be exactly the same anyway. And the way light
Well,
travels.
you're saying that, but I can't say I
I
agree
so I
with you.
can't see how it could change, is what I've said. I
No, well,
give it,
you
give
to
them.
think out of the box and think if it could.
Yeah, I think that there's rules that govern everything.
Okay,
Um,
no, okay,
and
okay.
I can't break. Okay, I can go. I love science fiction and everything else, and I know that there's a lot of sin science fiction cannot be done, even by an ET. You can't. You cannot change the laws of physics, as yeah,
That's
Scotty
why.
used to
That's
say.
why. That's why people study quantum physics.
Yeah, okay, well, there's some randomness in there, but they still don't understand it. Yes, there's strange things happen there. I agree, but um, ultimately, that will still have to conform into some sort of thing. Otherwise, we'll be falling through floors and everything else. Yeah, um, I I I just can't see it. I will be honest, I can't see how. Um, I mean, okay, tech wise, maybe an alien. I mean, yes, we're talking about wormholes, being able to burn time and space and come through some sort of folded wormhole or something else and arrive and everything else. Theoretically, yeah, great, and a bit of paper. Yeah, got one here. Yeah, I could do that. I could do that here. Yeah, the university through here, make a hole there. How would you actually go about doing that? How much energy would you need to do it? You're going to be governed by so many constrictions that the laws of physics. Um, and I, I I love science fiction. I like the idea of all this. Yeah, it's where I will break from reality when I'm watching a film. But I
Okay,
know it's not possible.
right. Okay. So,
Yeah,
coming back to the original,
yeah.
uh, do you think that Matt Gates? Do you put any credence to what he was saying?
I believe he was told something. Um, whether or not he suspects it's true or not, I'd have to read the guy's body language and everything else, and I didn't see the interview. Um, I know who he is, and yeah, he's always seemed quite a straight talking guy. I mean, he said it's been reported to him. That's what he was told. Um, Somebody believed they had a case. Why would you go to Matt Gates unless you're going to A, show him up? He hasn't said he believed it himself. He says he wants evidence. Yeah, really. He wants to
He
see.
didn't say that. He said that they treated it out of hand because the story was so incredible.
yeah, well, I'm inclined to agree with him on that one, or not
Oh,
agree with him. But yeah, but okay, you can accuse me of having a closed mind. You've got to remember, my faith is a guy that died and came back to it. Yeah, so I'm not totally against the supernatural, but I'm unless somebody can go to an Area 51 and say we've got this, this, and this, and this. Yeah, I'm 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 going to hold, as I said, 70% disbelief on it.
okay.
30% wishing it was true, or
Yeah.
true to a point, and being very excited about it. Yeah.